Hi, my name is Anil Sharma, as you can see, and
I,
I am the co-founder, technically speaking, of this platform, IPO Central. It's a decade-old platform. So you are a promoter and CEO.
I'm the promoter, I'm the founder, and I'm the managing director right now, and the CEO also.
Wonderful to have you, Priyadarshi. It's such an honor to be interacting with you today. So, if you can broadly take us through the company's core business, what it is, and who are your clients, what kind of services you offer to them. Yeah, just an overview. That would be great.
For how many minutes? 3, 4 minutes, or 5 minutes?
Um, let's take it in the stride.
Okay, fine. I'll do that because sometimes, when you have an opportunity to speak about your journey for 28 years, it can go on and on unless until it is interrupted.
Yeah.
So, yep, my name is Priyadarshi Pany. I speak right now from Bhubaneswar, Odisha, and
Mhm.
1998, good 28 years back, this company was founded by me in Bhubaneswar. And why Bhubaneswar? Because we thought that tier two cities can create an opportunity for any startup. Of course, startup as a name was not there then. But then that is the time when this Y2K and dot-com bubble, everything was happening. So there was massive opportunities with IT. And
Mhm.
Bhubaneswar as a destination, made all sense because there were a lot of engineering colleges, the captive, because IT companies doesn't need infrastructure, it needs more to do with talent. And we decided to start like any other IT company was doing in those days. So this continued for a couple of years. In fact, we did a lot of things in those days. The initial startup days, jaise hota hai, like any garage company, we were the first one to probably way before the Flipkarts, and also I had some portal called OdissaMarket.com, and we
Oh.
used to do commerce, and we used to earn export revenues, where people used to buy gifts online and give it to their near and dear ones and things like that. I also had a matrimony site before Shadi.com, so much ahead of time,
Oh,
that
really?
did all those things till to, and we also had some customers. Like one of our first break in exports was with British Petroleum in Vietnam, where we worked for them in a project monitoring software. So all those things happened till it was going good. We grew from a part-time employee to 30 odd people by 2001. So as it was destined, we came across, or we brushed across the governments, and we realized that my God, there's a world of opportunity here. And as a startup, those days, and with that age, and taking that ability to be a differentiator, we decided that why not create a niche for yourself, because this is one domain which the established player then those days were probably not touching. But they were all going to America or Europe, where how the Indian IT companies success story had been. Now this we did some odd work with the governments, and we realized that uh, we don't want to get into BFSI or fintech or agri-tech. So we coined. I don't know whether we coined or we started identifying ourselves as a GovTech company. So we are a company which does the engineering work or the digital transformation work for the governments. Now this because the sector was new and it was untouched in those days. So there were massive opportunities, and fortunately, we had that opportunity to whatever that we touch upon, had a transformation story like a Uber or a Netflix. It was a complete shift from how the governments were working with the citizens or with the industries. That is what we started doing, and we started realizing that not only that you can do it in a state, but you can also replicate the same thing in different states, and you can also replicate it in different countries also, because the spine of the government remains the same more or less. Now to that took us to Africa. In 2004-5, we got an opportunity to work with a petroleum company in Sudan, of all the places in the world. Nobody would go there. And we took the risk. We went there. In those days, Sudan was an undivided Sudan. Right now, there are two countries, the South Sudan and Sudan. And we landed in Khartoum. We started working for this oil company. We have massive successes in the oil company. And then there also we started looking for odd jobs with the governments out there. The e-services of Sudan government portal was launched by us. We worked for Sudan Airways and so on and so forth. So by 2007-8 we're 100% sure that this is the domain that we're going to stick to, and these are the geographies that we are going to work on. So difficult path, not a very conventional that we took, but then we knew that this is something that you have to remain patient, and you build your reputation by successful implementation with customers. So this went on, and today we work in various states in the country with the central ministries. We also work in various countries in Africa. We work in the west of Africa to east of Africa. Kenya, we have a delivery center, and from there we serve all the African nations out there. We look at massive opportunities coming today because of the digital public infrastructure spend. Today, all the governments across the world are spending heavily on DPI because that is, you see your UPI is also a kind of a base layer on your telecommunication, your fiber optics. Any amount of investment, Government of India in its budgets also come out continuously. They have been coming out with massive investment, whether it is AI mission or quantum computing. So these are like central governments which are spending. Now, this spending today creates enormous amount of opportunities for entrepreneurs, companies like us, and we are also taking this opportunity forward. And today we have a setup right now at New York and Toronto. New York is something that we are looking at the same. We are empaneled with the states, few states in United States, where also we are looking for opportunities in the GovTech. So this has been the story so far, Sharma sir.
Wonderful, Priyadarshi ji. So, if I may just ask you, when did you start the export operations? Not export, but overseas operations.
Overseas, as I told you, our first customer was in 2001 with British Petroleum in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City. So, but then a very more structured operation actually started from 2005 onwards, 4-5 onwards, where there have been, of course, not a very strong force in which we worked for exports. We were more concentrated on the domestic market because the opportunities, because the domain that we chose for. And through the years, like we're building opportunities, building successful customer implementation that we've been doing in multiple countries in Africa. So that is where, I say that, today we are in a very strong shape to take the learnings, the platforms that we developed here in India to the African nations.
Right. And so this came after how many years of domestic operations in the government domain?
See, I'll tell you what, we've been doing some other odd export work, but full-fledged activity actually started from 2011 onwards.
Okay.
When we signed a deal with Ministry of Justice in Ethiopia for Federal Ethics and Anti-Corruption Bureau, like the one that you have for CBI here in India. So it's a very innovative project that we implemented, and I'd gone there to sign in Addis Ababa, wherein digitization of all properties or all wealth by the president to the lower staff in the government. So that is something very unique in Africa.
Okay, and if I may ask you, what prompted you? What kind of events led you to the government business? It's a different business model in my understanding. It's from the traditional IT services business. Yours is very different. We will cover this in detail, but just wanted to understand this.
See, when at the end of it, all IT companies solve what? They solve challenges and make their customer more efficient. That's why customer buys the services of any IT company, whether it is oil company or whether it is a bank in America, anyone to that
Right.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
So what does the government do? Government's job is to give services to the citizen or give services to the industries, and
Right.
bring policies which and we all know that large organization go little bit slow because there are more processes, there are more complications that
Mm-hmm.
happens. Whether it is a government or it is a mammoth organization like per se a Bank of America or a Reliance and all. So government's inertia to change is difficult, and
Mm-hmm.
so IT was adopted early by the industries. The government started adapting and then started making mission mode projects. I think Government of India in 2016, 2008, they announced the National E-Government project, where there was a massive budget allocation that was given to the states and to the federal government, to the central government. Now, while we were early to realize that you have to be a master of one, you cannot be master of many things, right? Either you are a BFSI, you are a banking company, or you are a ERP company, or you are a AgriTech company. Like you have to choose a position. So
Mm-hmm.
here, you see, in those days, since we were a startup and a typical garage company, not enough money, and competing with largest United States
Mm-hmm.
could have happened, right? But then we thought that we need to be a differentiator. Somewhere we need to create a brand for ourselves and name for ourselves, and that
Okay.
can only happen through some job that we are able to do with the government. As I told you, anything that we did, had a complete transformation to the way what was, in our life, we had seen that from school admission to college admission to, passports or to paying taxes or traveling today, everything, some or other way you consume something or other that the government has provided as a base layer.
Mm-hmm.
So we all knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously, we consume, and that tech layer is something that companies like us build, and which has to be very robust, and because it works on a population scale. So there is nothing, and you cannot be wrong at all because it is a public money and everything has to be perfect. So that is where we thought we will concentrate on this. We started small, doing some odd works in the talukas and then with the collectorate office. So we learned over the process, and today we say that we believe in 7 platforms of the organization, which is mining, agriculture, government services, industry facilitation, and trade, and tourism, and healthcare. These are the 7 sectors that we focus on. Of course, the bucket is huge, and the opportunities within the government is huge. But within the government, these are the 7 areas that we focus on.
Okay. So, like you said, you were early on. You were pretty early in understanding that you can specialize into one domain. And so, is it correct to say that you have specialized in the government domain, in the government business? That's what you specialize in, and your business should be accordingly valued as a government vendor.
Well, government vendors, see, IT is an ocean. Anil, you do data entry work, you lay fiber optic, you provide servers, you provide cloud services, you do consulting activity, you write software. So there are n number of the spectrum is very large. Within the governments, we work on areas like, for example, agriculture. We work. I'll give you an example for you to understand. We'll do seed certification in Kenya. That is a GovTech project that we call. Or in the country of Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, we do early warning system for pest attack. Now the pest originates from Jordan, right? Takes 2 months time to land in a particular area. So that is something that through IT we are able to trace and track, like early warning system for tsunami. So this is like early warning system for pest. So this again we call it as AgriTech. So there are different things within that platform where we have that opportunity to deliver. For example, take for example your procurement of by the governments on minimum support price. There are some 26 items that the government procures: sugarcane, paddy, wheat, so on and so forth. Each state have a massive target to procure it from the farmers, and it is round the clock. It's like an Amazon supply chain management. The government procures paddy from the farmers, then send it to the miller, then send it to the godams, and then to the fair price shop. While you say that it's easy, but the amount of transaction that happens, roughly around 30 to 35,000 crores that the government spends every year, and money is given to the farmer, and you have to check the authenticity of the farmer, and you can't check, unless until you have a tech layer. You check with their land records, you check you through their Aadhaar, or taking their iris scanning, right? Then you calculate the yield, you transfer the money immediately. 30,000 crores going to the different farmers, and they have to be all KYC done, and to be sent. And at the same time, tracing and tracking from millers to godams to the fair price shop. This entire cycle, there's a heavy, there's a massive IT layer that performs works round the clock. Now, while I say this is for ease of, government to citizen, ease of livability, ease of accessing government services. So that is where we come into play. At the same time, we also, check through, because while leakages are to be checked, and the government has to become more efficient, at the same time, they have to check there are no leakages in the system. So today we do a very wonderful project using AI ML platform, where every Kharif season we take picture of the paddy land of the entire state uh, 3 times: September, October, November, and through the refractive process and the crop signature, we are able to identify whether somebody has genuinely grown paddy in their land or not, or they are, are mischievous element. Roughly around 2,500 to 3,000 crores of rupees the government saves on such systems. So we basically come in both the layer, right? We provide services for better access to the citizens, and the government becomes more efficient. The farmers get their services better way. At the same time, right, we do fraud detection, we do security checking, and all those things for the government to save any money to the government extractors. So these are certain things that we do. So we primarily land up as a partner to the government bodies who hires us, and and our contracts are multi-year contracts. We continue serving, and as they say, Rome was not built in a day. So there are new things that keeps on coming, new technology. Nowadays, like a lot of customers are coming back to us asking for AI implementation on existing projects that is running, because they want to become more efficient. And that is an opportunity for companies like us, right, to whatever AI skill force that we've been able to build, to be able to deploy, and also bring in success and also earn revenues out of it.
Got it. Fair enough. So, just a quick question on geographic over dependence, if I may use the word. So, just wanted you to speak a little bit on this. I think in the latest 9 months, uh, slightly over 62% of your revenue came from just the state of Odisha. So let's talk a little bit about this. What's the company doing to mitigate this
Yeah.
risk?
So let me put it this way. I started here. As I told you, the journey is a little bit longish, because the learning curve or the learning cycle and becoming a master of this particular domain takes a lot of time. Now, we did a lot of good work here in the state of Odisha, of course, that we learned. Now, if you see the last 9 months to the previous years, the concentration was even more. So what we did in 23, 24, we decided that we whatever that we've been able to do, we take it to different places of the country, because the same thing is asked for. Fortunately, we are able to replicate whatever that good that we've been able to do. here in the state of Odisha, in the state of Chhattisgarh, or in the state of Bihar, or in the state of Rajasthan, or in a country like Kenya, or in a country like Gabon. The same thing. So these are certain decisions. So we expanded. We decided that we take a consolidation, we take a pause, we strengthen our platforms, open new geographies, check whether these geographies has a market or not. And what we see today that 24 we started Chhattisgarh, and by now we are roughly around 200 people. Right, we started New Delhi. We have roughly around 100 people out there. We have some marquee accounts like Bureau of Indian Standards, Food Corporation of India. We work along with them. We have this mining solution, which has been one of our prime solutions. So what we did it in the state of Odisha, uh,
Mhm.
we have now replicated it in Jharkhand, in Chhattisgarh, in state of Rajasthan, in state of Bihar, the country of Kenya, and recently we've been declared as winner for mining cadastre in the country of Gabon. So these are so you see our percentile. This percentile will remain because our customers stay with us. They've been, we have been fortunate to hold up the customer, bring in more value, bring in more delight. So they will continue to stay. New customer acquisition is something that is going to happen, and that is the reason that we decided that this is the right time for us to raise money, because you are a debt company, right? Suddenly then we decided, and not suddenly, of course, it was a very planned thing that we take the company to the next level by raising money through
Mhm.
IPO. And because we see a market, we see multi-million-dollar opportunities coming in Africa. We have most of the places that we have qualified. So why not take it more aggressively to different places?
So, if I may ask, what is this overseas revenue contributing to your top line?
Last year, I think it was 15%, but
Mhm.
there are very healthy pipeline, multiple countries, because we have now set this delivery center in Kenya, which was earlier not there, which allows us to hire local people and also send expats. So continuously, people are on the move. New people are joining. So we we think by 2028. 2028 is our target. 2028 end, our revenue should be 50-50 from overseas and domestic.
Okay, great. You touched upon new customer acquisition, and I know you have an enterprise business as well, which is also scaling up. So let's share more information about that.
The enterprise business, if somebody comes to me, if State Bank of India or Reliance comes to me and says that, Priyadarshi, we want this job to be done by you, we are not going to shy away, because
Mhm.
it's the end of it. It is the ability of the organization to be able to deliver solutions, products for its customers. Enterprise, we are very focused on enterprise. We have a product called digital logistics management. While we working with the governments, we do the supply chain management. We see logistics in India has, and worldwide, and particularly in India, there has been a massive change with roads, riverways, airports. So uh, every company today who is, for example, in mining company, the logistics plays a huge cost, and any percentile change in the logistics, like 2% or 3%, has a massive
Mhm.
advantage to most of the customers. Today, we work with, again, mining companies that we work with, PSUs also, like, for example, JSW or Adani or Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation, Naivali Lignite Corporation. With them, we work on this digital logistics management for their mining ore, right, which moves continuously, the demand and supply, the grade of the amount of ore that is needed, in which carrier that has to move, and how through IT, at least some percentage reduction can happen. We can also proudly say that wherever we have implemented our solution, we've been able to reduce the logistics by 4%. So, which is a big achievement by itself.
Great. Uh, yeah, one more question. Are any of the central PSUs your customers?
Central PSUs,
Central government.
central government PSUs.
I understand majority of your business
ONGC
is
was a
with
customer.
state domain.
Yeah, I know. ONGC was a customer back then in 2004. Hindustan Copper Limited in Kolkata was a customer.
Hmm.
Uh, if you call Food Corporation of India, if at all they are a PSU, I am not very sure.
It is.
Naivali Lignite Corporation is a PSU.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
we work with MCL, Manadi Coalfield is a PSU. Yeah, so
And
we
what's
work with
the nature of the tenure of these contracts? How long are these contracts?
3 years, 5 years contracts that we entered with during the smart city mission in Bihar Sharif or MIDC in Maharashtra, MITL. That is a joint venture between MIDC and Delhi Mumbai corridor. So they formed an
Hmm.
SPV. And Bhubaneswar also, we work alongside with Honeywell. We worked alongside with Orange and Bihar Sharif. Those tenures were like 9 years. Except that
Okay.
most of our customers are within 5 years to 3 years.
Got it.
However, the good part is that our customers don't leave us, neither do we leave them, because the cost of transition is very expensive. Uh,
Hmm.
so, I mean, there is and always a negotiation that happens post the contract period is finished for an extension with a mutually agreed rate, considering the inflation and the effort that we're giving. Plus, there are a lot more change requests that keeps on coming because as Rome was not built in a day. So, I mean, any IT company around the world, whoever works with any customer, the scope so defined, but still there is a scope creeping that happens, which is a win-win for both the sides.
Makes sense. Makes sense perfectly. So, for the first 5 years actually go toward the infra build up and development of the software, and after that, it's more of O&M business. Is it right to say?
First 1 year. Say
Okay.
if you take a 3 years contract, the
Mhm.
first year goes in design, development, studying,
Okay.
testing, and then rolling out the software. So
Hmm.
that is a very expensive phase for us. Post that, it is the O&M period starts, and any kind of a change request that keeps on coming. That is what something that we do.
So, from a margins perspective, which of these time frames are more remunerative, more rewarding for you?
Typically, we try and see that we are not cash negative on the capex side, but then sometimes there is a lot more effort that goes during the capex period. It is only on the opex where we are able to recover the investments that we do.
Okay. Yeah. Something similar, something on similar lines I came across while going through the RHP. That yeah, majority of your expenditure is in the initial years, and like you
Yes,
mentioned, it almost goes negative. Also, it may go negative in the initial years, which is recovered in the subsequent years. All right.
absolutely.
So, okay, let me straight come to the point. Why should an investor invest in your IPO?
Okay, very interesting question, and I'll give you a very straightforward answer to this.
Hmm.
You would you would have not come across any company would say that this is the area that I'm going to work, and that is called GovTech. Very rarely you will come across, right? Now there are companies who are doing government engineering, government transformation, but they do a lot of other things. We say that this is the only thing that we are going to do. So, and we say that not only that we are focused on this because the opportunity is massive because of the spending by the governments uh, and somebody asked me also that governments if they stop spending what will do. I said the government in the worst time they spend the most during COVID. I think the only two companies which unfortunate for this is but IT and pharma are the two big gainers during the worst possible time in our life.
Hmm.
So the spending are going to grow bigger and bigger. Fortunately, India's stand as IT, we are looked upon the best in the world, and there are 53 countries in Africa where we have a footprint. Of course, we have not gone to Latin America, but we would like to. Now we have made an investment for 15 years there, while going cross countries, not having established setup, but being able to do job by flying to all those countries, staying there, camping there. Now we have a delivery center in Nairobi, and we realize that land of opportunities in Africa. That is what everybody is talking about, and every large, big companies in some other form, uh, uh, particularly the manufacturing or for ores, people are going for IT. We're probably the only company who is so focused for a continent like this and to the sector like this. So because we have this big differentiator, because these two, one is the geography and another is the domain, has tremendous amount of potential. The investor should be looking to invest in companies like us, which is again having a track record of 28 long years. So we are rock solid to be able to protect the investors' money and grow it further.
Yeah, understood. And pretty much well understood. You have a track record, you are in a very sweet spot. But then, considering the negatives, specifically the impact of AI, I'm not really sure how much it is going to impact you, because I think government is going to be, should be the least among the least impacted entities from AI, etc. But anyway, it's not for me to comment on this. But considering that the fortunes of other IT companies, your more traditional peers, are going down, your PE ratio of nearly 30 appears to be on the higher side. 30, it's on the higher side, even considering the listed peers that you have mentioned in your own RHP. So it's highest, in fact, of all the five companies that you have listed. The closest is Allied Digital Services, which is trading at roughly 24 PE. Your return ratios are slightly better, of course, but then you are at a much smaller scale as well. So considering all things, I think
Yeah,
the pricing
yeah.
could have been better.
Let me answer. First, let me answer your first thing on AI. Uh, I'll tell you what, AI is going to create massive opportunities. And of course, you rightly pointed out, since we are working, our customers are mostly the state government, PSU, central government. They are not going to take away any jobs. They are going to use more AI to make themselves more efficient. That means more work is going to come to us. We have not been a traditional IT company where we do managed services or we supply people. So that correction that is happening because of AI is not going to affect us. Second, while you say that on the competitors and all, I also told you a little while ago that it's very difficult to find a real match to what we do. I mean,
Mm.
because there are a lot of companies who do what we do, but then do a lot of other things.
Yeah.
So we remain very focused. We have done our calculation well. We have invested. We have taken the first step forward. We did not come to this point that we raise the money and then we go and explore the market. We have already done at our cost. We have expanded. We have spent a lot in 2023, 24, and whatever that we have done. In fact, the testimony is on the order booking that is there standing with us of 350 or 360 odd crores, right?
Mhm.
Which are multi-year contracts, and that is an indication that that to the to the to the efforts that we are putting in, right, has a definitive growth story for the company. So we are looking for a much more higher deal closing this fiscal, and the roadmap is done. So the PE that you're talking about, that is something that I will not comment on that, but we feel that this is the right bucket that the company is valued today, and because this is a new wave that we are going to take it forward, and so that is it, Mr. Sharma.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for your time, Mr. Priyadarshi. It has been a pleasure interacting with you, and I wish you all the best for the success of the IPO. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
You
Sharma.
have a
Thank you.
great day. Yeah.
Thank you.